strengths and limitations. Look, we don't let a car decide where we drive, right? We need to use AI the same way, as a tool to help us arrive at the best choices available for our personal and professional lives. I'm Cheryl Strauss Einhorn, author of 3 books on decision making. If you're ready to enhance your decision making skills using AI, join me in this course, and we can tackle a pressing problem in your life together. Making decisions is the primary way we humans move into the future. That's why I named my decision-making process the DREAMS framework. The word DREAMS is an acronym for the steps of the process. The D is for defining your problem, and this is where you'll get clear on what you want to solve. The R is for refining your decision, where we change the problem statement into a decision question. The E is where you examine your motivation for making your decision, namely defining your goals. For A, you'll activate your options, conducting research and analyzing the information you found. In the M, it reminds you to manage your biases, looking both at human thinking mistakes as well as where AI may be error-prone. And in that final S step, you'll select your path forward and make your decision. I'll be guiding you each step of the way as you choose a decision of your own to make. I've developed the DREAMS framework as a logical and repeatable process. The goal is to push you to improve your thinking and help you incorporate AI tools to help you strengthen your decisions and make a more informed, thoughtful, and tested choice. So let's look at an example of a problem that I want to solve, and we'll talk through 2 ways to approach it. Say I'm exploring taking an all-inclusive vacation. I might want to get started immediately to plan the vacation and focus on which resort to visit. This might be fine, but because I'm not following a process, I could be actually missing out on some key aspects of decision-making that might lead me to a better option. For example, when thinking about where to go, have I identified what's most important to me? Do I care about the location or the cost? Is travel distance more important than how crowded a resort might be? Do I even know the busiest times of year to travel? Are there types of vacations that might better meet my needs that I have not considered? Having a process helps us make better decisions, because without one, I might cut corners, lean on well-worn pathways in our brain, or miss out on something that's important. Following a process limits these and other mistakes and can better help us reach our goals and dreams. So what I want you to think about now is, what are some problems you'd like to solve? Make a list, jot them down, and join me to begin working through the DREAMS framework. Great decisions are ahead. So your first task in strengthening your decision-making is to determine whether your problem is low stakes, meaning it has small consequences and doesn't likely require a process for solving it, or if it's high stakes, such as a problem that keeps you up at night, or where the price for not making a good decision could be costly. Let me give you an example of a decision that's low stakes, when you don't need a process like the DREAMS framework because you actually want to jump over problem solving and head straight to decision making. Say I'm hungry and I have 5 ingredients in my refrigerator, and I don't know what to do with them to make a delicious dinner. I could search for recipes online, but even better might be to fire up my AI partner and direct it, suggest 2 meals that I can make with these 5 ingredients. In this example, AI will jump over problem solving and give me 2 solutions that I can make right away. So you don't need a framework for low stakes decisions where you just want an answer and it doesn't matter how you get there. In contrast, high stakes decisions benefit from research and a thoughtful process that goes through problem solving before arriving at decision making. And that's where our dreams framework will guide us. Now it's time for you to choose the problem you're going to go through in this course. You'll want to choose a high stakes problem so you can apply the problem solving skills you'll learn with AI as your partner. For example, are you worried that your apartment is feeling a little snug for your growing family? Or is your work feeling a little mundane? Or maybe you've noticed too many stray dogs in your neighborhood. Pause the course and identify the high-stakes problem you want to solve. From the exercise files, you can download the Dreams framework and jot down your answer where it asks for your high-stakes problem. You'll use this handout throughout the course. And then meet me back in the next video where we'll take your problem and turn it into action. So you've defined your problem. Now it's time to refine your decision. This is the second step in our dreams framework. A problem is just a matter or situation that you're unhappy with. For example, I don't like my job. That's a problem, but it's not a decision. It doesn't have any momentum or directionality. The same is true for opportunities. Say a new position opens at your workplace. That opportunity doesn't give you direction. It doesn't suggest what to do with the opportunity. Once we choose to deal with a problem or take advantage of an opportunity, we're ready to identify a decision. This is key. Reframing problems or opportunities as decisions moves you from a passive state to an active state. Decisions are active. Looking at something as a decision encourages us to consider options and see the situation from different angles. Now we have something actionable and something to investigate. But when we move from a problem or an opportunity into a decision, we need to get specific. Otherwise, the problem or opportunity can feel frustrating or off-putting. Where do we start unpacking it? How do we look for good information? By getting specific about the problem or opportunity, we reflect on our desired outcomes and potential solutions. For example, if I have the problem, I'm not happy at work, I would reframe that problem as a question. What would make my job more enjoyable? Now I have to get specific. I'd like some new challenges. This brings clarity to the situation and it's empowering. Now I'm in the driver's seat, moving my own life forward. Note this doesn't tell me how to solve the problem, but it gives me a specific criteria to consider. I might find new challenges in my current role, or I might need to find a new job to meet that criteria. I won't know until I begin my problem solving. To that end, your decision should be phrased as a question. Unlike statements, which are explanatory or declarative, questions ask something. They elicit information, opening lines of communication. Questions seek answers, just like us. Your AI engine can partner with you to brainstorm ideas and offer decision questions, changing the stationary to the active. Here we actually lean into two of AI's strengths: idea generation and communication. They will help us to set up our problem solving. For example, you might direct AI to take my problem that I'm unhappy at work and turn it into a decision question. It might respond, what steps can I take to address my unhappiness at work and improve my overall job satisfaction? This is useful because it's actionable and it gives you a starting place to draft your own decision question. I might edit the question to ask, what steps can I take to address my unhappiness at work and increase my work-life balance? This adjustment to the question reflects what's important to me in this decision. After this video, you'll see the exact prompts and responses I entered and received from AI. And now it's your turn to refine your decision with AI. Plug in the specific problem you want to solve, direct your AI partner to turn your problem into a decision question, and adjust AI's responses to reflect the decision you want to make. Capture your refinements in your Dreams Framework handout next to the R step. Once you've done this, you're ready for the next step. Examine your motivation. Meet me in the next video to find out how to do that. So you've refined your decision. Now it's time to examine your motivations. This is the third step in our dreams framework. Your motivation is the driving force behind your actions. It answers why. Why am I unhappy at work? Why does my apartment no longer suit my needs? By understanding what truly matters to you, you can make decisions aligned with your values, goals, and aspirations. This clarity helps you avoid mistakes and make choices that contribute to your overall well-being and success. In our last video, AI helped me identify a decision question about my unhappiness at work. I refined that question to what steps can I take to address my unhappiness at work and increase my work-life balance? If work-life balance is an element of my decision question, then my motivation, my why, is based on how I define work-life balance. It could mean I want more time for friends. For somebody else, it might mean no work on the weekends. AI can better strengthen our decisions when it knows why we're solving a problem. When I share with AI that for me, I'll have work-life balance if I have more time for friends, then AI can give me responses driving toward that goal. Okay, now it's your turn. Pause the video, review your decision question, and identify why the elements of the question are important to you. Capture your motivation next to the E in your dreams framework. By examining your motivations, you're creating a set of guidelines that you'll use to help AI better respond to you later in the dreams framework. At this point, you're standing at a busy intersection and you're not sure where to go. There are likely many paths you could take to make your decision. So your next step in the dreams framework is to activate your options. We're going to cover this in two parts. In this video, I'll demonstrate how to generate options and narrow them down. Then in the next video, I'll show you how to do deeper research on the options that you like best. Examining your options is so important when making a decision. It's like taking a good look at each path before you choose which direction to go. It gives you a chance to weigh the pros and cons, consider different outcomes, and pick the path that's best for you. AI is terrific at this. Think of AI as your super smart research assistant that can dive into vast amounts of information really quickly and pull out the stuff you need. AI can sift through mountains of data, analyze patterns, and find connections way faster than we can. It's like having a search engine on steroids. Plus, AI doesn't get tired or bored, so it can keep churning through the information tirelessly until it finds what you're looking for. Your goal in this step is to partner with AI to find options that could solve your problem. And then your role is to sift through the responses to find the options that best suit you. Together, you and AI can identify strategies that you might not have otherwise considered. For my decision about increasing my work-life balance and my motivation to have more time with friends, I asked AI, give me a list of possible options to solve my problem of increasing work-life balance. AI provided me with a list of options and categories to explore. In the on-screen text after this video, you'll see how AI answered. As you review the options, some will feel like possibilities. Others will feel like they can be crossed off the list. And this is where your partnership with AI becomes critical. AI responds to your instructions and questions, but it ultimately needs you to direct it to focus on potential options that directly speak to your motivation. What will make a solution right for you? With this narrower list, you might be ready to move forward to the next video. If, however, you'd like more options, try asking AI to solve your problem by directly addressing your specific motivation for making the decision. I directed AI, Provide me with options that prioritize a work life balance that increases my time with friends. And it offered me some creative ideas. I added two new ones to my list. Optimizing chores and errands. I hadn't thought about this idea of better managing my own personal obligations, so this was interesting. And AI also proposed using vacation days for deepening relationships, and that struck a chord too, because I'd been working so much lately that my boss had commented that I wasn't taking my vacation days. Pause this video now, activate your options with AI to generate a list of options, then narrow them down to a few that feel right for you. Jot down the ones you'd like to research and join us in the next video to learn how to do that. So you've now generated some options and narrowed them down, and you have a list of a few options you're excited to learn more about. Next up in the Dreams framework is to research those options and find out if they're right for you. This research will help you more deeply understand what it would mean to choose the few options you're most interested in. What's the benefit of each of these pathways? That's where you'll use AI to strengthen your understanding. First, you'll check the upside of the options you're considering, the benefits. Then you'll use AI to get practical and help you understand what steps you'd need to take to operationalize those paths. For example, for the work problem I'm tackling, I liked the idea of using my vacation days to improve work satisfaction and life balance and increase time with friends. What does this mean in practice? That's what I wanted to understand. I asked AI, what are the benefits of using vacation days to strengthen friendships? I also asked AI, what's the benefit of using vacation days to improve work life balance? It offered responses to both questions, sharing that I might benefit from stress reduction, closer relationships, and disconnecting from work. I looked at the benefits AI suggested and compared them to my motivation for making my decision to spend more time with friends, and they matched pretty well. But knowing that something is possible doesn't mean it's practical for you. So next, drill down further. For my example, I asked AI, what would I have to do to get the benefits of using vacation days to achieve better work-life balance? The answers showed me practical steps that I would need to take to reap those benefits. It suggested I would need to plan for the vacation days in advance to have them work out as I'd like. It also suggested that in order to strengthen my relationships during vacation days, I would need focused time that disconnected from work. Now I could reflect, do I want to take these steps? What feels best? And this reflection can help me further narrow down my options. For me, the research reinforced my interest in better using vacation time. What are the benefits of your decision options, and what would you have to do to achieve those benefits? Pause this course and find out. Ask AI the following two questions for each of your decision options. One, what are the benefits of solving this problem? And two, what do I have to do to achieve the benefits for each possible solution? Jot down the answers for each decision pathway. In the next video, you'll beat biases by checking for assumptions and judgments. We all rely on well-worn mental pathways, but these shortcuts, based on assumptions and judgments from our past experiences, can lead to cognitive biases, basically habits and patterns of flawed thinking. Cognitive biases affect our understanding, actions, and decisions in an unconscious way, and they're activated involuntarily, meaning that we need to develop awareness to explicitly thwart them. In this next step of our dreams framework, you'll manage your biases. We'll check and challenge where we might be making thinking mistakes and where AI may have provided us with flawed, incomplete, or inaccurate data. What kinds of mistakes could lead our decisions astray? Let me give you 3 examples of common human thinking mistakes. First, we may be overly optimistic and rely on an optimism bias where we think things will work out better than they actually do. This bias may lead us to miss out on some important details, as our sunny outlook may cause us to overlook or underestimate negative outcomes or consequences. Next, we may find information that confirms a favored hypothesis and rely on confirmation bias. That's where we find what we're already looking for. This may lead us to miss out on opposing information or challenges to what we believe. Finally, we may underestimate the time it takes us to complete a task, even if we've done the task before. This planning fallacy leads us to budget our time poorly. For even more biases, check the list I've provided in the exercise files. The good news is that there are straightforward strategies that you can use to combat these mental mistakes, such as directing AI to examine the biases you're most concerned with. In my decision to improve work-life balance, I directed AI to suggest how to combat optimism bias when planning to use my vacation days to spend time with friends. AI responded with 10 tips, and you'll see the full response on screen after this video. One tip said I should consider setting realistic expectations. Another tip recommended thinking about potential obstacles so I could consider scheduling conflicts or budget constraints with my friends. Looking at the potential biases strengthens our decisions by identifying flaws in our assumptions. AI's responses made me realize I don't really know if my friends would be willing to spend time with me on my vacation days, and this was a big aha. Confronting this unfounded expectation led me to ask my friends, are you available and willing to take vacation days to be together? You can repeat this same question and plug in each bias about the decision you're considering making. Something to keep in mind, though, like humans, AI can be error-prone as well. 3 of the most common AI flaws are outdated, incomplete, or inaccurate information. To combat outdated information, ask AI, how up-to-date is the information you provided about my decision? Where might the information be incomplete? How might it go wrong? Where might there be errors in the information? And AI will explain where it may be steering you wrong. For example, when helping me make the most of my vacation days, AI shared that its recommendations are dependent on flexible work policies, that it did repeat advice in the items it provided, and that it might have given me outdated information. Some of these are errors of omission. I can fix them by giving AI more specific information about my decision. Other errors in responses may be just the imperfections of AI's training. In this example, I realized that AI's understanding of a flexible work policy makes a big difference because at my company, I'm required to have a plan to cover my workload prior to taking time off. That means it's less flexible to actually take a spur-of-the-moment vacation, and that can impact the success of my decision. Now it's your turn. Use the questions we talked about to check where you may have relied on cognitive biases, and then check for the kind of mistakes that AI can make. You'll want to identify action steps that you can take to combat both your biases and AI's shortcomings to strengthen your potential path forward. Capture the biases and action steps in your dreams framework. Congratulations, you're ready to make your decision. This is a uniquely human moment. Only you can decide what's right for you. AI, for all of its assistance, can't make the decision for you. So, what decision will you make? Hopefully, with the problem solving, research, and analysis you and AI have done together, there's one clear best path forward for you. If so, that's great. That's how the Dreams framework worked out for me as I did my problem solving with AI to have better life balance and more time with friends. It was clear that using vacation days to strengthen my relationships was a great decision. Not only would it actually encourage me to use my vacation days, but also to have dedicated time with the people I care about. And it preserved my job just as it is. This decision seemed like a big win. However, you might still have more than one good option for your decision. For example, if my apartment is feeling too small for my growing family and my motivation is to do what's best for the family, even after all the problem solving, I might still see benefits to both expanding my current apartment and to looking for a new apartment. A renovation could be less expensive than moving, but a new apartment could be closer to work and a better school district. If this happens, don't worry. Return to the Dreams framework to your motivation and answer what is best for my family, looking at how each of the options fit with that motivation. That's why I say that this is a uniquely human moment. Different people could answer this question differently. Although there's no single right one answer, there is likely a right decision for you. AI, for all of its powerful capabilities, it may know a lot of things, but what it doesn't know is how you want to live your life, what your aspirations are, and what's best for you. Pause the course now and make your decision. Capture your answer in the Select Your Decision line of the Dreams framework. Now you'll have a record of your entire decision process. In the next video, we'll strength test your choice using AI to give your decision an even better chance to succeed. Now that your decision is made, you're ready to execute it. There are some handy tools that can increase the chance that your execution phase will go well. And the first one is to learn from failure. Why is failure a good teacher? By examining why something went wrong, you can learn from your mistakes and make improvements to do better next time. To do that for your decision, you'll use AI to conduct a premortem. A premortem is a strategy where you imagine that a decision has failed so that you can identify what might go wrong to strengthen your path forward. In other words, you'll look back from the future to identify problems before they occur. AI can help you with this process because it can quickly identify a list of items and components that, if not carefully thought through, could lead your decision to fail. By seeing what can go wrong, you can set up safeguards to prevent problems. This strength test gives your decision an extra layer of protection to ensure its and your success. Let me give you an example and show you how it works. I asked AI, conduct a premortem for my decision to use work vacation days to spend more time with family and friends. AI gave generic answers, including lack of personal time and unrealistic expectations. It also suggested preventative measures for each potential failure. For lack of personal time, it suggested scheduling me time, where everyone can enjoy some activities alone. For tackling unrealistic expectations, AI proposed being flexible and having a positive attitude toward minor setbacks. After reviewing the premortem, you can decide which of the items concern you and remove the rest. Next, you'll identify gaps by looking at anything AI missed. Remember, AI can give you generic sourced ideas, but it doesn't know you. In my example, it doesn't know that a few of my friends have small children, and they might not want to take vacation time with me. So I'll want to add that in as a pitfall and create a plan for spending time with friends who have family obligations so I don't miss out on those important relationships. Now it's your turn. Before the next video, use AI to conduct a premortem on your decision. Review the results, identify the gaps, and ask AI to avoid the gaps that you've noticed. Make some notes on your Dreams Framework worksheet about how you'll close the gaps you've identified. Who else is impacted by your decision? You may think your decisions are yours alone, but the truth is that the success of a decision often depends on how other people receive it. The cooperation of those people will increase or decrease the likelihood of your decision being successful. Until now, you've examined your decision solely from your perspective. You've thought about what you want, why you want it, and how to make it happen. But as you take action, you'll generally have to interact with other people. So let's think about those other people so you can imagine a positive conversation with them about your decision and increase the likelihood of your decision's success. You'll divide this process into two parts, your part and Gen AI's. First, make a list of the people who'll be impacted by your decision or play a role in the outcome. For example, while I've decided to use vacation days to strengthen relationships, clearly the success of this decision hinges on my friends and family. Are they able and willing to spend time with me on my vacation days? I need to talk to them about my plans. What is the best way to do this? And what do I know about these people that will impact my decision's success? Here are my important stakeholders and relevant information about each of them. My brother, he currently uses vacation time to be with his wife and children. My husband, he doesn't have a flexible work schedule. My best friend, she's an avid hiker and travels the world to tour national parks. And my boss, he's commented that I have not been using my vacation days. With this information, you're now ready to use Gen AI to help you prepare for a positive conversation about your decision. Using what I know about my brother, I want AI to offer suggestions that will help me discuss my decision. My reasoning and his willingness to spend time with me on my vacation days is a big part of what's going to make my time off a success. I shared with AI, my brother uses his vacation time to be with his wife and children. Then I directed AI, suggest 2 ways for me to ask him to spend time with me on my vacation days. Gen AI suggested I let my brother know that I admire that he uses his vacation to be with his wife and children, and that I want to use some of my time off to spend more time with him. It also suggested ideas ranging from a weekend away to a family dinner where he can join for only a few hours. The AI proposals gave me positive ways to talk with my brother. It offered me easy and flexible options to spend time together, and that increases the likelihood that my brother can say yes, and that can help my decision succeed. I've provided a handout where you can see the proposals for all of the stakeholders listed in this example. And now it's your turn. Before the next video, take a moment, identify the stakeholders in your decision, sit in their perspective, write down their names and some information about them that's relevant to your decision. Then share those details with AI and direct AI to prepare 2 suggestions to share your decision with your stakeholders in a positive way. This will improve the likelihood that they will support your decision. If your decision works out well for you, what becomes possible then? We've spent time thinking about the decision in the current moment, but this decision will soon have a life of its own. It's useful to look into the future so you can imagine how your decision matches with your long-term goals. Feeling confident that you can create the future you want will help you move into your future well. There are 2 benefits to asking AI about the future. First, to learn from its vast database of knowledge and from the experience of others to show you what good may come from your decision. Second, once you know the benefits, you can look for signs of that good materializing. For example, in my decision to improve life balance by using vacation days to strengthen my relationships, I asked AI, once I start taking vacation days and spending more time with friends and family, what will the long-term impact be? The results included improved mental and physical health, increased creativity and productivity. This information speaks to my original motivation of wanting a more balanced life. And if I can attain the goals of improving my relationships, AI says I'll feel healthier and more relaxed, all benefits that make for a better life. Next, we can watch for signs that indicate whether I'm feeling healthier and more relaxed or not, and I can track the success of my decision. So, what are the signs of improved relaxation? I asked AI for help with this answer, and for your decision, you will too. For my decision, AI suggested observing whether my bonds with friends and family seem closer and whether I feel in better harmony between work and personal life. Now I'll know what to look for, and this will provide me with confirmation about how I'm succeeding in my goal of improved life balance and motivate me to stick with the decision. This data will determine if my decision is succeeding and when a new decision may need to be made. For me, this vacation plan sounds good, but if it doesn't pan out, I'll make a new decision. For example, if I find my work piling up on days where I take time off, I might want to do more planning for the vacation days, or perhaps make some other change. So now it's your turn. Pause this video. First, identify with AI what the future holds for your decision, what becomes possible for you. Second, ask AI what signs will indicate that those good possibilities are materializing. And third, direct AI to share suggestions for how to keep track of the signs of your decision succeeding to document your progress. Make some notes on your Dreams Framework worksheet about your decision success metrics. Now that you've made a decision and pressure tested your path forward, you'll take some time to think about how your new skills can be applied more broadly to your decision making. To begin, think about some high stakes decisions you've made in the past. For example, some big common life decisions might be what car to buy, whether to move to a new city for a job, or whether to go to grad school. The goal here is to look backwards and identify both the strengths and weaknesses of a few decisions you've made. Let's build a chart now and examine our strengths and weaknesses around the car buying decision. In this decision, I spent the bulk of my time conducting research into the safest and most fuel efficient cars, and of course, I kept my budget constraints in mind. That's certainly a strength, so I added these facts to the strength column. When I reflected on my weaknesses of my decision, I realized I never took the car when the family was traveling all together. It just wasn't big enough to fit the kids and the dog. I put this in the weakness column. In the exercise file, you'll see my answers for a couple of other big life decisions. Pause this video so you can do your own reflection of how big decisions worked out for you. Fill the strengths column with the things that you were proud of in your decision making. Fill the weaknesses column with the areas where you felt your decision making could have been improved. Once you've completed your chart, I'll help you identify how to learn and grow from past decisions. Now that your chart is filled out and you've identified the strengths and weaknesses of these past decisions, you're ready to look back at the Dreams framework from earlier in this course. What element could have better supported your decision making? In my car decision, I certainly felt bad that I couldn't fit the whole family into it. I compared my weaknesses with the elements of the Dreams framework, and I realized the element that would have helped me to avoid that mistake. I realized I could have done a better job of examining my motivations, the E step in the Dreams framework. I thought about my budget, but I didn't put down the most obvious reason. The car was meant to benefit the family. I wanted a new car to enjoy family road trips. Now it's your turn. In the exercise file, look over the Dreams framework and identify what step of the process could have made your decision better. Then add it to the Dreams framework column of chart number 2. In so doing, you'll learn from your past to improve your future. We've tackled making big decisions and using our past to improve our future. Now you're going to learn 3 decision-making strategies that you can use with AI to make everyday decisions. The first is the pro-con analysis. This is a list of the pros, the positives, and the cons or the negatives of the decision you're evaluating. It can be used for a single decision, such as, should I buy a hybrid car? Or it can be used between options, such as, which hybrid car should I buy? The pro-con is a useful analysis tool because it organizes information into 2 different viewpoints, one positive and one negative. Seeing the decision laid out as a list of upsides and downsides can help you to think about your own needs and motivations, and it can also lead you to further questions and research. To use the pro-con with AI, make a pro-con list for buying a hybrid car. Try typing that into your favorite AI tool, and then in the Decision Strategies handout, jot down your top 2 aha moments from the results you got. What did you learn about buying a hybrid that perhaps you hadn't considered? The next decision-making strategy is data analysis. Collecting information is not the same as making meaning of it. We may have collected data, but not fully synthesized it. Interpreting data is a key decision-making skill, and AI is well-equipped to quickly read through and make sense of a lot of information. So for our car example, I found a data set of survey responses to how hybrid cars perform in the snow. You'll see this data set in your handouts. Then I uploaded the data to AI and I asked it to do the analysis for me. I said, pull key insights from this hybrid car snow survey data. Using your preferred Gen AI, upload the spreadsheet or copy the data into the AI engine and ask it to pull key insights from the data that may be important in your buying process. This practice will prepare you to use Gen AI to examine a data set. The third decision-making strategy is storytelling. Stories help us make sense of facts and data, and it organizes information into a narrative that shows us how the pieces fit together. Human brains are naturally attuned to stories, so framing decisions this way helps us reach conclusions. To get AI involved, you could ask it to share 3 stories about a decision you're considering, one story that works out well with a happy ending, one that's neutral, that has neither a good nor a bad outcome, and a story where the decision fails. This will give you what is known as a scenario analysis that shows you different ways that a decision may play out. I directed AI, tell me 3 short stories of how purchasing a hybrid will work out well, fairly, and poorly, so I may better understand the variables in this decision. The results were illuminating, and you'll see them on the screen after this video. They actually changed how I thought about buying a hybrid car and my daily life. I hadn't realized that the heavy battery pack, for example, can reduce ground clearance, which can make this kind of a car an issue on steep inclines. Now it's your turn. Using your AI engine for input, document your insights from the 3 stories that AI generated for you. And now you'll have 3 additional decision-making strategies to use with AI for better big decisions. Congratulations! You've completed your journey through the DREAMS framework, where we've unlocked the power of Gen AI to enhance your decision-making. Thank you for your dedication and enthusiasm throughout the course. You now have the tools to approach decision-making with greater precision and effectiveness, harnessing AI to support your choices without falling prey to common biases. The result? Stronger solutions. A reminder, always start with a clear definition of your problem. This clarity will guide AI to produce the most relevant and impactful advice. For those eager to dive deeper, check out my book, Problem Solver, that discusses the 5 different ways that people make decisions, what I call problem solver profiles. It will give you insight into your natural decision-making strengths and weaknesses. When you pair this with the DREAMS framework, it will take your decision-making to the next level. So now that you've tackled a high-stakes decision through the course, why not keep the momentum going? Find a new problem to solve, Reflect on what you've learned at each step of the process and move forward with your newfound insights using the DREAMS framework. I'd love to hear about how it goes and the decisions that you make. I encourage you to connect with me and my decision sciences company, Decisive, on LinkedIn to stay updated and continue learning. Finally, if you're looking for more guidance or inspiration, please visit my website, areamethod.com, and subscribe to my Problem Solve podcast. Together, we'll keep refining our skills and making smarter decisions. Keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, the better you make decisions, the more agency you'll feel, and the closer you'll come to realizing your dreams.